and saw the Thunderbolts movie, which I'm wearing my Captain America Civil War t-shirt right now, because that Thunderbolts movie was so good. It's excellent. It's by far a high praise. There is something controversial I would like to question, and that is this. A lot of people say that the movie contributed to PTSD. PTSD is a post-traumatic stress disorder, which people like Steve Walker or Yelena or Bucky would go through. As you're watching the movie, you can't help but tell it's all Bob's fault. It's all him. It's nothing to do with PTSD. It sounds like, to me, it played with PTSD being fake. Like it's something played by memory. Now, I do see a lot of respect of PTSD from each of these characters. But the one where Walker is going into his wife's house or room and she's not there doing anything, people with PTSD get triggered to do something that is triggered from a traumatic memory or is triggered from an abuse. For a Walker to get triggered in a fight with his wife, like, that's not something PTSD would trigger. It would trigger something more traumatic and more terrifying, like Yelena, where, I mean, her and her sister were hunted down by the people, the rogue Red Room assassins. That's terrifying. Yelena got abused and tormented as a child in the Red Room by playing with their guns. I mean, I'm sorry about making some of this up, but it's based on the movie. There's something to me that doesn't really seem right that the PTSD scenes were making, whereas Yelena's is completely easily triggered. It's completely understandable. Whereas Walker's wasn't. Bucky, I don't know if I saw his, but I honestly loved Bucky Barnes. I loved him as a senator. I thought it was really interesting that this show pulls so much of political issue, and even Captain America Brave New World pulled a lot. And I mean a lot, and if you are not a conservative, red room, if you know what I mean, symbolize what I read, know what I mean, and you see that Thunderbolt Ross gets turned into a Hulk, not only do you think that's awesome, but there was something to me that in an era where we're getting so much political issues, where we're diving into so many political actions going on in the world, we need movies like Captain America Brave New World, Captain America Civil War, Iron Man was even politically viewed. One of the things that conflicts me is that the Thunderbolts movie was triggering memories in some scenes that you should never really be triggered. What I loved about Bob's memories were that Bob was a huge traumatic kid with father abuse issues. And I can relate to that a lot. For me, myself, who has grown up with a lot of abuse, both from father issues and friends who've taken advantage of me, friends who've manipulated me, pulled me into issues. Thankfully, I didn't join a gang or a cult. Oh my gosh. But there were issues that Yelena had to go through that even I went through, and even I felt abandonment issues. just like Elena. Whereas Sam Walker is like, I really just don't like that guy. I don't. It's like one of those characters you just love to hate. Or even though you love to be respectful for him and understanding of him. Whereas, you know, Bucky was really good. Bucky Barnes is a really good political issue view of things. I loved how his characters on the roster of issues going on are brilliant. I love Yelena Yostakov or Yelena Boulevard. I can't remember her name. Kozovich. Anyway, she's really an excellent character who pulls each sides. And you've seen her pull sides. You've seen her like inside, kind of like being the new Nick Fury or the female version of Nick Fury, or for a better term, the evil version of a director that Samuel L. Jackson's Nick Fury will never cross. And there's so many good issues with her. Like, you see the abusive, manipulative side. You see how she plays into Bob's mind and knows how to pull at him, into these strings and into these manipulating tangles that an abuser would do to get what they want. And it's just so good to see something like that, because now somebody who has been abused can see, remember how Valentina was manipulating Bob? That's how I felt. It was that issues. There's so much about not only political views, but so much about mental health and abuse, and an abusive relationship or just gone through abuse, that I love and respect. However, what triggers me or concerns me is that this movie, you notice how Bob was in them, and every time he was in them, I think there's an issue there, because he's like the first mutant, right? And not only that, but he is somebody who did play with everyone's mind, who did his evil side played with their minds. His evil side was like the dissociative identity disorder represented at its worst than what Moon Knight represented in the series, which I know a lot of people didn't like. A lot of the Marvel movies post Endgame, or post aftermath of Endgame or COVID. But I loved the aspect in WandaVision of mental health. I loved Loki. I mean, come on, that deserves a season 3, or at least a spin-off with the female Loki, Huntress, or is it Huntress, or I forget her name, but I think it was really good with Moon Knight. I loved Moon Knight. They represented the best mental health aspects, I have to say, in the best form that I've seen of mental health aspects. And I have done that myself in my stories, writing my stories. I've also done that, with mental health, with how I'm playing video games. I'm showing you people how I'm coping. I'm also representing charities in my descriptions every time. There's so much about an importance of mental illness that a lot of things get skewed, that this movie and Moon Knight and Loki both showed. Because Loki is somebody else who goes through a mental health issue, especially with PTSD or father issues or father issues. So I really hope you guys all check out Thunderbolts. I hope you guys watch Moon Knight. That show is awesome. Please, Marvel, give it a season 2. I'm telling you, season 2. Yeah, it was so cool. I hope you all love my channel. I hope you all watch and subscribe. Thanks. This is Corey Daydream, signing off.